Hi everyone, and welcome back to Olive Oil Drops, the first podcast entirely dedicated to olive oil and olives. This podcast is created by Marco Tonucci. This is an English version. I'm Milena. As I mentioned in the previous episode, I want to walk you through how you can actually make money from a byproduct of olive oil production, olive leaves. To do that, I'm sharing two real-life experiences from Marco. If you haven't heard a story from India, go check out part 1. Today, we're focusing on a story much closer to the Italian market with some practical tips along the way. A few years ago, Marco had the chance to travel to South Africa, where he conducted tasting sessions, met incredible producers, and had deep technical discussions. What struck him was how advanced olive farming had become, especially in the wine-producing regions. Every farm he visited had cutting-edge olive mills, temperature-controlled storage, and even used nitrogen and argon to preserve oil quality. It was all impressively clean, and every single olive oil he tasted came up with up-to-date chemical and organoleptic analysis certificates, refreshed every 3 to 4 months after bottling. While this may have represented just a slice of the broader industry, the president of the South Africa Olive Industry Association confirmed that this high level of attention and care is becoming more common. Among all these experiences, one farm stood out. This family-run farm is located in the Breed Valley near Robertson, a central area in South Africa's winelands district known for both wine and olives. The farm has around 3,500 olive trees spread across 5 hectares, ranging from 6 to 20 years old, growing at 300 meters above sea level. Most trees face north, which, being in the southern hemisphere, means they get plenty of sun. They mostly grow Mission and Frantoio, but there is also Nocellara de Belice, Manzanilla, Coratina, and FS17 olives. They also have their own continuous cycle oil mill, temperature-controlled storage, and even a small tasting room. But what was really impressive is how they thought about the entire business cycle. From day one, the owners worked not only on the land and equipment, but also on building their knowledge, attending courses all over Europe, exchanging ideas with other producers worldwide, and constantly improving. That approach paid off. In just a few years, they developed a fully organic farm making award-winning oils, while also reusing every bit of waste from cultivation and production. Well, there's a lot we could learn from this farm. Today, we are taking a closer look at just one part: olive leaves, specifically those from pruning. Marco worked with the owners to refine their process. Although they've chosen to stay anonymous, they generously allow him to share what they've learned because they believe in open collaboration, and that's what helps the whole industry grow. So how do they do it? Pruning is typically done in late summer, August, September, using electric shears. Right in the field, they do a first selection, picking out branches with healthy, uniform leaves. It might sound tricky, but with a little practice, it becomes second nature. If pruning is done at different times throughout the year, selection happens directly on the plant. The chosen branches are taken to a sorting area under the porch. Then they are cleaned with water spray and compressed air, sometimes brushed and always visually inspected. Since the leaves come from organic farming, they don't require cleaning treatments. After cleaning, the branches are placed in a drying room, either on handmade frames or laid in bunches on raised nets, depending on the end product. This room has tile floors and walls, a large south-facing window. Remember, that's like a north-facing window in Europe, because leaves must always be in the shade. Fine mesh door for airflow, and a thermometer and hygrometer to monitor the drying conditions. The room is ventilated naturally, like a chimney. Sometimes they use a dehumidifier or electric heater, especially during rainy or cold periods, to control humidity and temperature. Branches are turned occasionally, not so much because they have to, but to check their condition. Once the leaves are dry, they are inspected again and cleaned with compressed air. Whole leaves are gently peeled off by hand. Those go into clear bags or jars, great for showcasing in the products. Leaves from the bunches are combed off and fed into a grinder, chopped, and then packed into filter paper tea bags, like the ones with strings you use for herbal teas. There are two main products: whole leaves for teapots or metal strainers, and tea bags for single cup use. The packaging is very elegant. Aluminum tins, fine cardboard, and information sheets describing the health benefits and preparation instructions. How to use the leaves? Well, that's very simple. Use about 5 grams per person. Steep in boiling water for 5 minutes, either in a steel strainer or directly in a container, and then strain, or just use the ready-made bags directly in your cup. Now we come to the exciting part: pricing. Now, this company sells its olive leaf products in selected stores in Canada, Belgium, England, and France. A single tea bag can cost up to €2. A 50-gram bag of whole leaves can go for €15. By weight, that's up to €400 per kilo. Now, obviously, that's the retail price, not what the producer earns. And it's a niche market. Some companies sell for €80 per kilo and others even for less. But if you compare that to the price of olives, in recent years, price for a quintal of olives have ranged from 60 to €90. So while processing leaves still involves some cost, it turns a waste product into a potential revenue stream, and sometimes a very lucrative one. Olive leaves, often seen as just pruning waste, can actually be a valuable byproduct, especially if you are willing to invest a bit of time in the process. So next time you are trimming your trees, don't just think about disposal. Think about infusions, packaging, value-added products, and a potential new source of income. This is it for today. Thanks for listening, and as always, feel free to reach out with questions or thoughts, either by email, oliveoildrops@gmail.com, website www.oliveoildrops.com, where you can also find text of this podcast both in Italian and English, or comment space of the podcast platform you have been using and to which you can subscribe free of charge.